What's going on, guys? Hope y'all are having a good day. We are about to dive into the 240 and pull the transmission out of it. Took this thing for its first legal street drive, and I was ripping it around a little bit, and we've been kind of having a little bit of a clutch issue or something weird going on. I just wanted to go test it a little bit further distance and feel more about what it's doing. You know, I tried to shift into third gear, and then after that I thought I blew third gear, but then tried to go in other gears, had nothing. Luckily I could coast into that road, and we got the trailer, loaded the car up, got it back home safely. So there's a lot of things that went right. I'm really glad that nothing worse happened, or it wasn't in a bad spot or something like that. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this transmission out. I gotta do the shifter real quick. So I started going through here, pulling the center console out and that sort of thing. Patrick's gonna be here soon with the transmission jack, and we're gonna get this thing up there, see if we can't figure out what's going on with it. It should be pretty interesting. So I got my shifter off. Patrick's in the back of the truck jacking off. Trying to fix the jack, and then we're ready to drop this transmission. So we're moving pretty good on this thing. We got the hardest bolts up here that were really hard to get to, but for transmissions, not too bad, really.
No, honestly, not bad.
Yeah. Having this adapter plate like this is making it a little bit easier, because the stock 350 bell housing is really huge. That was going pretty great up until it started going pretty not so great. The transmission tunnel of the car wasn't really hammered too much. That's kind of a long story of why that is. Some of y'all know why that's the case, but luckily this is the last thing that person touched on the car. The whole time it was hitting the bell housing really hard right here and just barely not letting us get just that extra little bit. We're kind of over here looking at the input shaft, and I noticed something a little bit funny on the end of it, so I'll give you guys a close-up. Hopefully you guys can see. Try to zoom in. The end of the input shaft here is basically sheared off just a little bit. Alright, so we got the clutch and pressure plate out of the car, and as expected, on this clutch, it's actually in backwards. So as you can see, this is how it was installed in the car, but these splines are about 1 inch off, and obviously kind of protrudes out, so that kind of makes up for that difference. And right now we're just trying to determine if it might actually need a flex plate spacer in between the flywheel and the back of the motor to get a little bit of extra. But I'm pretty happy, because now we know what's going on with the car, and it's not anything too crazy. Should be able to get it back in ready to rip here soon. So it's the next day. We're still working on this transmission. Right now I've just been kind of going through here with an air hammer and a mini sledge, and just trying to get as much of this as I can, so it's a little bit easier to take the transmission in and out. And I figured while the thing was out of here, I would go a little bit crazy and decide to paint the transmission real quick. I'm not gonna go way over the top. I'm just spray some simple green on it right now. It should just make the whole underneath of the car look better, and I just think it'll be cool, so why not? It turned out so good. I hardly even prepped it, hardly even cleaned it, and I'm just shocked at how sick that looks. Got the bell housing painted. It's the little things like this that just take a little bit of time, to do it extra. Man, this is what makes this car what it is to me. It's just the attention to detail on certain things, and just trying to make it as clean as I possibly can. I can't wait to see this stuff back in the car and get this clutch issue fixed, take it for a little rip, and man, I'm just freaking excited. Alright guys, I gotta go turn the Gucci off real quick. I wish I could leave it in the background, but nope, unfortunately I can't. We had to spin the transmission the other way around on this jack, because the tilt that they have built into it was actually for side to side, and they don't really have front and back tilt, so we had to just spin it around and kind of just ratchet strap it. That way I can get the transmission to angle down, which is really the only way. You have to kind of get it up here like this, and then barely angle the transmission like this to get the input shaft to go in. And once you start to kind of get that stuff lining up, you can you know, flatten the transmission back out and push it in. The good thing is though, I've finally got this thing wide enough where I can actually do this in and out with the bell housing. So finally got the transmission back in the car. It was quite a bit easier as far as like getting it up in there and everything with all this hammered out now. But that last like inch or so of movement, for whatever reason, the splines, or I don't know if it was the dowel pins or something, just didn't want to line up right, and it was very frustrating. Super tempting to just, you know, pull it in with the bolts, but I know you're not supposed to do that. So I think this new coat of paint is also looking pretty sick, which is like kind of makes this whole thing a little bit more worth it now, which obviously it's worth it because I had to fix the car. Got the trans mount on, got the drive shaft in, got the starter put back in there. Everything's tightened down, Loctite, torqued. I did use a torque wrench even though I didn't film it. I think I'm gonna call it a night right there. I'm hungry, I'm tired, got a headache, I'm sore. Y'all know how it goes. Working on cars is kind of a pain in the ass sometimes, but all in all, I'm just really excited that it wasn't like a big issue with the car. So I think I'm probably gonna end the video right here. If you guys like the video, drop a like down below. If you wanna see more, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.